Hi, good morning guys. I am back with a chat with Shaq, and just wanted to touch base and check in. And of course I'm driving because I do this before I go to work, and yeah, I just missed you guys and wanted to catch up. So today I'm going to be talking about Divorce 101. Let's call it that. I'm not an expert in divorce, and never do I claim to be, because I've only been divorced once, and now I'm remarried again, of course. But I just want to let you guys know, like, my process and what happened. And I've been talking to a lot of people, and they're just like, you know, you should do a video on divorce. How many people it reaches, or who sees it, or who gets it and accepts it, I don't know, but hopefully it'll reach someone, because I think 9 times out of 10, most people go through the same thing, and they have, you know, the same experiences in a divorce. I think it's very rare when you have the one limited experience of everybody walking away happy and, you know, just everything's joyful. I think that's a limited experience, or a pre-planned one. So my experience with divorce, I'm not going to talk about like my situation, what happened, but what happened was unexpected and not nearly what I was thinking was going to happen. But there were signs, and I always feel and say that I believe in signs, and there were many signs that I just chose not to see, not to focus on, not to talk about. I didn't have a lot of close friends, so I really didn't have anybody to talk to it about, or the friends I did have, I didn't feel like I could talk to them about it, and I didn't open myself up enough to be schooled and educated on what the process should look like, or what I should be doing to protect myself. So I get divorced. Actually, I go through a process of getting a divorce, and in the process I'm not very active in it, because I didn't get a lawyer. I didn't get somebody to represent my interests and my kids' interests. He did everything, and he handled it, and did it probably an inexpensive, cheap way. And to the fact of, he sent me child support, but no spousal support, and no military benefits, none of that. So I ended up with basically a car that I had to sell, coming here with just my paycheck, taking a pay cut, and then of course everything else happening that spiraled. So in taking a pay cut, of course I've still got bills, so I'm losing money, and the rent here is very comparable to what I was paying in Alaska, because I was renting my place in Alaska, so I rented here as well. But I couldn't find anything due to just the market, and what I was looking for was very rare. And then when I finally found something, there literally was a hole in the wall. They didn't clean the carpets, they didn't clean the place, and I will name their name at the end, because I was very unsatisfied with them, and they were very non-responsive in helping to better their place. So the place I stayed in was owned by an owner, so the people would call the owner and say blah blah blah, da 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 da, and then he would say yes or no, he or she would say yes or no on fixing whatever. So I had this big ass hole in my wall. They put a little plaster or whatever the crap that is they put on there, and you can still see the hole. You didn't really fix the hole. So if you leaned on it hard enough, or if you did anything, it was going to come back open. So in the end, that was a very bad experience for this place for me, and it is in Bluffton, South Carolina. Again, I will list them at the end and let everybody know, because unless you got money, or unless you fix up the place yourself, they're not helping you. Or they're not even giving you advice on what to do, which would be the human thing to do. So I move here. I finally find a place, and I'm like desperate because I have to get my kids into school, and I can't get my kids into school without a lease or some type of mortgage paperwork or some type of something saying that I stay in this place. So finally, after living in a hotel for 2.5 months with 4 kids, and it was 4 at the time, I finally get into this place, get the lease, and I have the lease, but I still haven't moved in yet because I can't until a certain time in the month. So I finally move in. I'm so excited because I'm like, oh my God, we're not in a hotel anymore, blah, blah, blah. You know, so I don't have great credit. It's not bad credit, but it's not great. Mind you, I just took a pay cut, so I'm just like scrambling to pay my bills. And to move, I had to pay for myself to move. My job did not do that. So anybody that is thinking, oh, well, they should have paid, or they didn't. So my job did not pay for me to move. I took a pay cut. And I'm sure you guys are probably like, well, what the hell did you do that for? Why did you do that? Because I was desperate to get back somewhere where I had some family connection. And although I really liked and loved Alaska, I did not have any family there to help me with small kids. And my husband, who was deployed at the time, came back, and we went through whatever we went through after deployment, and no counseling, nothing like that. And we decided to get a divorce. So that puts me now back in Bluffton, living with my kids. My older son is helping me out, so it really helps, but I only have 1 car. And I'm going back and forth between my job, picking up kids, trying to keep my kids safe because I don't know anything about the area. Just back and forth. And then again, you know, paying crazy rent, and trying to just survive between working open to close shifts at my job. And open to close for us is 9:30 to 9:30. So 9:30 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. I'm sure a lot of people do it, have done it, been there, done that. Okay, but this is me as a single mom with 4 kids. So, mind you, they got school, and I got kids in 3 different schools. Whoa. So, did my car hit the 278 a lot? Hell yeah. It sure did. And that's thetruth.com. So I'm back and forth, and me on my break, picking up kids, dropping them off. I gotta go. See you, love you. I'll be home. Blah, blah, blah. Food in the fridge. Make a sandwich. Peanut butter and jelly. Throw something in the microwave. All that. So in between that, you know, I'm trying to get my bearings at work and get along with these people that don't want me there in the first place, and you know, try and work it out. So divorce 101. Have money set aside. Do have some type of nest egg savings for 6 months, and even 6 months is like a stretch. Have some savings for at least a year, so that if something happens or something comes up, then you can dip into that without it affecting your car note, your house note, your rent, your electric bill, your cable, whatever you got going on, without it affecting your credit. Divorce 101. Have your credit straight. Because if you're in a situation where somebody leaves you, then it's on you now. And most things nowadays are based off of your credit. So you want to be able to walk into a place and be able to get something that's nice and already, you know, ready for you to live in maybe, or, you know, at least where you are able to fix it up, furnish it, do whatever you need to do without feeling stress and strain. So, living in this place, I have to rent to own my furniture, which is not a bad thing. People do that all the time. And I do get nice furniture. I rent to own. But it's a little crowded because I have 4 kids and me. So it's just like a little bit of a strain on everybody. You know, people start fighting and arguing because they don't have their own space, and you know, it's a little difficult. So the area we lived in actually was very central, very neutral. We didn't have any issues with people. You did see somebody creepy every now and then, but I mind my business, went in my place, locked my door. Next. So back to, I'm doing all of this, but my point is how my life was going while I'm in the situation of not being able to be stress-free and live the life I want to live, or we're accustomed to living. There you go. Because I wasn't accustomed to not having certain things or not doing certain things because I didn't have the money or whatever to do. So, Divorce 101, number 3. If you don't have the money to pay your electric bill, maybe don't get your nails done, but you're so accustomed to getting your nails done, getting your hair done, getting something done, that it's like, why do I need to give this up? I'm working hard, I'm working hard, I'm working hard. Why do I need to give this up? You need to give this up because you can't afford it right now. That's why you need to give it up. You have to have some type of plan in order so that you can go to the next level. Job-wise, personal-wise, and financially wise. So you have to be prepared if you're going through, or if you're even thinking about getting a divorce. You need to write out a plan of action. And seriously, write it out. What are you going to do for finances? Your monthly bills. What are you going to do about childcare if you have kids, or if you don't, then you don't have that to worry about? What are you going to do in situations of if your car breaks down, you need new tires, just anything that life can throw at you that would come, of course, at a worse time, things happen. So you have to think about all that stuff. You know, how are you paying for your kids' lunch? Because you obviously make too much money, but you don't make enough money for this, but you do make enough money that you can't get approved for anything. Okay, that's cool. That's fine. So you have to think and keep all those things in your head and make a plan. So you want to make sure that you are set up for success. If you need to, that you can be able to take care of yourself and then take care of whatever expenses or whatever you got going on without it being a issue. That's what you need to be thinking of. That you can pay your bills without any stress. Divorce 101. You need to make sure you're set up. You need to write out a plan. If this is an unexpected divorce or something's coming up, then I'm talking to everyone that does not have their plan in place. You don't necessarily need a contingent plan on getting divorced because that's not your plan, but you do need to know about your finances. You do need to be credit worthy and credit wise, and make sure that if something were to happen, not saying something will if you're happily married, but if something does happen, that you are set up to take care of yourself and any other financial obligations you have that come up. So I just want to speak to that because most people are put in a situation And when I say most people, I mean most women are put in a situation that they can't afford this, they can't afford that, they're struggling for this, they have to beg for money for that, and that shouldn't be the situation. It should never be that you are in a situation where you can't control the outcome and control what is happening on your financial side. That's a given. So that's my today on Divorce 101 is about the financial part of the divorce. I will do another segment on the emotional part of the divorce, but I didn't want to get into that today. I wanted to talk about the financial aspect and how it leaves you. I mean, because I think I said this in one of my videos before, but I ended up doing pawning like a lot of my jewelry that I loved. I mean, and that I worked hard for, and that was hard enough doing that, because it's really embarrassing. Number one. Number two, it's just like, you know, your valuables are worth more than they're worth, and you're getting like a fraction of the cost. Not even that, you're getting way less than what they're worth, and then you're using that money to go pay other people or pay a bill or something like that. There's no good thing that's happening from it. You're not earning any money off of it. You're losing money both ways. So it's just like, it's very very important that people really think about their finances and think about their credit right now, and think about all the ways that you can save money. And, you know, if you don't have to do something, then don't do it. I mean, definitely, by all means, if you got the money to go do whatever, then do that, do you. But just make sure you're prepared for anything that could happen. We had a whole virus come upon us, and we were shut down. So, what would happen if you just think about what would happen if you didn't have a job, if you didn't have the money saved? How would you do this? How would you take care of your kids if you were in that situation? So I think when most people save money, they're thinking of, okay, when I get older, I'll have this. Okay, if something comes up, we'll have this. And those are good strategies. You want to make sure that you have yourself set up the same way that other people do that have money, because they have money for a reason. So take some of the good tips that they have and use those. And my tip number one is to save some money. Put a little bit here or there, $20, $10, whatever it is, put it to the side, and put it to where you know you won't spend it, and it's not an option to spend it. So, you know, I'm learning a hard pill, because again, I told you guys, it was very I didn't never not buy what I wanted. I just bought what I wanted. And now I'm learning to, you don't have to buy something just because you want it. That's what I'm learning. I'm learning that if you don't need it, you don't necessarily have to buy it. When are you going to wear it? What are you going to do with it? Is it just going to sit in your closet? So is it necessary? Just think about those things when you're in the process, because everything is shiny and pretty, but what is it going to do for you in the end? So that's my tip for today, guys, is your financial well-being in being divorced, and what you want to accomplish and what you want to do. Make those your number one plans. Figure out how you want your life to turn out financially wise, and go with a plan and stick with that plan. All right, guys. Again, I will do part 2 to this will be about the emotional part of divorcing. Again, because I've talked to many women, and all of them say the same thing. Hey, you should make a video about what to expect. This is my what to expect, because it's my take on what happened in my divorce. And I will get back with you guys. Bye.